Alrighty, test 1 2, test 1 2, test 1 2. We are live. Hopefully, let me go ahead and let me check just really quickly over here on my second monitor once the stream officially boots up. When it perfect, I I can hear myself now. Hopefully, we don't overhear a duplicate audio. Let's see here. Okay, so we're not hearing second audio. Perfect. That's fine. Yeah, we're live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the legal tampering period for NFL free agency. Um, yeah, today we are about what's the time? 9:46. We're about 15 minutes away, just under 15 minutes from NFL free agency. Technically, the legal tampering period opening up, where we'll see if the Broncos make many major moves. Right, of course. Um, the Broncos have been fairly active in free agency over the past few seasons since Sean Payton joined, right? I remember the first free agency that he had back in 2023, right? He was pretty active, right, in signing Jarrett Stidham, Ben Powers, Mike McGlinchey, and Zach Allen. And then, honestly, every year it seems like we're involved early with someone. A few years ago, last season, we got Talanoa Hufanga early in the day, and that was really the only free agent signing early. Then later in the day, we got Dre Greenlaw, and so things picked up. But this year should be interesting with the cap space, right? So we'll have to obviously see if or what we're gonna do, right? We'll have to see how we've restructured contracts in order to free up the cap space for potential free agents, right? Who are you guys wanting in the chat? If anyone is in here, who are you guys wanting to sign in free agency? I know a lot of us want a running back. For me, want Kenneth Walker. I know he's kind of divided among the fandom of people who want him and people who don't. I know Travis Etienne's up there. I think some people are on fences on both sides, right? Some people want Kenneth Walker. Some people want Travis Etienne. Other people want some Rico Dowdle. For me, if I had to say what I would prefer in terms of the running backs that the Broncos signed, I would probably say Kenneth Walker. Then I would probably say Travis Etienne, and then I would probably say Rico Dowdle. Of course, would love to have Brees Hall up there, but he's been franchise tagged by the New York Jets, so he will not be a free agent. Would have to trade for him. Of course, we might see a trade from the Broncos, right? If someone is willing to obviously trade a player, right? There's rumors that the Dolphins might be willing to trade Jalen Waddle or Devon Achane. We'll have to see if those are true or not. That was reported, obviously. Could be a false report. So we'll have to see what goes on here and there. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look at the news that has just occurred right here. Whoops, I accidentally full screen my second monitor. But recently, Travis Kelce will be returning for a 14th season for the Kansas City Chiefs. Let's see here. We'll go back. We'll go down to this. He's returning for a 14th season. Of course, the Chiefs hold the 9th pick and now the 29th pick after the Trent McDuffie trade. So probably, I don't know. They might go Kenyon Sadiq in the first at pick 29 if he's available. Maybe. We'll obviously have to see what happens because this is going to be short-term deal before potentially retiring at the end of next season. So we'll obviously see what goes on there. The Falcons are signing Tua Tagovailoa, who the Dolphins just released with a post-June 1st cut designation. So he's no longer going to be the Miami Dolphins. The former fifth overall pick back in 2020 is now out. Most likely the three running backs will be Rico. I agree with you. It's probably the most likely with our cap situation, but if I had to dream, I would personally want Kenneth Walker, but you know, that's obviously a dream. So yeah, but I would agree that Rico is probably the most likely. Okay, there's goes my timer. We are officially 10 minutes away from the legal tampering period opening up. I also, up in this tab over here, I have a Broncos roster. I just copied this from my roster that I had at the beginning of last season following the draft. So I'll probably delete everyone here and we'll start filling it out as we go. Right, we just have the traditional roster. We have our little color code, I guess you could say, right, for different players, right? Star players, great players, good players, medical for players that are injured, contract year players, and then players who are on their rookie contract and then rookie season, the total amount. We have our free agency tracker. We have our draft pick tracker and practice squad injured reserve. We'll fill this out as the season and as the offseason really goes on. So we'll work on this a little bit later when the news eventually comes and slows down a little bit. But yeah, it looks like the Falcons are going all lefty with Michael Penix Jr. and Tua Tagovailoa. Now, me personally, I don't love left-handed quarterbacks, right? You have to shift your whole offense, right? So instead of your left tackle being your blind side protector, it's your right tackle. And so smart if their Falcons are going with a lefty quarterback to have two of them. So if one does get hurt, right, Penix, of course, coming off of the ACL, it's not going to affect a whole lot in terms of strategy with their throwing hand. So not a bad move right there. If we're dreaming big, I would like a wide receiver. Hey, I'm right there with you. I'm not super high on really any of the free agent wide receivers, I'd say. Let me NFL free agents, right? Because I know the biggest one talked about for the Broncos is Alex Pierce, in all honesty. But let's see here. No, I don't want. I just want to see the free agents, man. NFL. I don't want to see the free agents that have already signed. Let's see, 2026 NFL free agents. Because I know I'm probably forgetting one, and I don't want to just speak off the dome if I'm forgetting. Let's see, all teams, all positions. Let's go with wide receivers. Mike Evans. Oh, that's the big one, obviously. We'll have to see what happens there. There were some rumors, but I believe someone spoke to Mike Evans' agent. And with Sutton here, it doesn't sound like he's coming to Denver, but we'll see. But yeah, Mike Evans is the big one. I know a lot of people have connected, where is he, Alex Pierce to the Broncos, which, I mean, I wouldn't mind that, but, I mean, definitely not where I'm shooting for. In all honesty, I wouldn't mind if we made a trade, right? The 30th overall pick, the value in this draft, I don't love it. So if we were to be able to trade it for like a Jalen Waddle, a Garrett Wilson, if made available, I would absolutely love that. But, yeah. Pierce, I mean, I wouldn't hate Pierce. Don't get me wrong. If we signed him, I'd like him, but I don't know. I'm shooting for, would want bigger fish, but in terms of a realistic free agent signing, I would not mind Alec Pierce, right? Wouldn't mind him at all. But for me, I definitely want a running back, just because I feel like that was our biggest struggle last year, was establishing a running game, especially after J.K. Dobbins went down. So I would like a running back, but I also want to receive, right? If we address those two primarily, I'll be happy, right? Just help the offense out, right? Give us some flexibility in the draft. Don't force us to go at one position in the draft. If you want to still go offense in the draft, hey, absolutely. But don't have us forced or locked into a specific position for the NFL draft. All right, let's go back to all positions. There, when I go all positions, it's just showing the two free agent signings that's happened, which is Tyler Biadasz going to the Chargers and Alec Ingold going to the Chargers. Oh, I need to click on the available tab. Okay, there we go. I guess I'm just a little bit blind. But yeah, in terms of other positions I wouldn't mind is linebacker. I know we just brought back Justin Strnad, hoping we don't bring back Singleton. Sorry, Alex, but we need someone who can cover. And guys that I wouldn't mind, right? Where are they? One of them is Nakobe Dean for the Eagles. Wouldn't mind him. And then where is another one? Bobby Okereke, I wouldn't mind. Devin Lloyd, that's the one, that's the main one who I would love. If we were to make a splash on defense, it would be for Devin Lloyd. Loved him coming out of Utah. I think it was, 2023 when he was drafted in the first round, when we didn't have a first-round pick from the Russ trade. If we were to get him, I would be A-okay with that, because we need linebackers who can cover. But at the end of the day, I don't know. I also like Jacob Rodriguez in the draft if we want to go that situation, or if we want to go and address it in the draft, right? I guess we can kind of get started on this. We'll start with the new look Broncos for this upcoming season. If we were to look at our inside linebackers, right? And I know it's left side or left inside linebacker, right inside linebacker, and it matters schematically wise. I'm just going to start with left as linebacker 1 and then right as linebacker 2 and kind of alternate. And then when the roster's set, I'll fix it for schematic reasons. But for right now, that's just what we're doing to get everyone down. But right now, I think it's like this. This is how the linebacker room is looking. Corinne Reed, and then, of course, you have Lavelle Bailey. So definitely would not mind a linebacker there. Like Sternad, he took big steps last season, but I don't know. I kind of like him as your third linebacker, right? But if he had to start, if you did draft a rookie and you wanted to give him time to develop, I think he could do that, right? There's a bunch of different ways we could go. Honestly, I wouldn't mind running it back with JK. No, I mean, I'm right there with you. If we re-sign J.K. Dobbins, I wouldn't mind that at all either. I think the biggest thing would be I would want to sign maybe a smaller name in free agency or look fairly early in the draft so you have someone there who can be a solid rusher if J.K. Dobbins goes down. Because let's be honest, he has an injury history, but I loved J.K. Dobbins last season. So if we were to bring him in, you have R.J. Harvey as your receiving back, and then maybe bring in a Katron Allen, a Nick Singleton in the draft, or a smaller name free agent running back. I wouldn't mind running it back with J.K. Dobbins as well. I think he performed well, right? He knows the offense. So, hey, I'm right there with you running it back with J.K. I think that would be absolutely, or I would love that idea. And then snag Pierce from Indianapolis and Nakobe Dean from Philadelphia. Yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. I think it would depend on, obviously, the price point, but I think it hasn't been made official, but it looks like we were starting to restructure contracts with Quinn Miners and some other players, so it looks like we're trying to free up some cap space. We'll obviously have to see how things go, but I'm right there with you. If we brought back J.K. Dobbins, smaller name free agent running back, and then Nakobe Dean and Alec Pierce, I think that would be a fine offseason. That opens up flexibility of what we could potentially do for the draft, right? Because I think for the most part, we're a fairly complete roster. There are some holes or areas that need to be bolstered up a little bit, but if we could go best player available at pick 30 and then just grab the best guy there to build the roster, I think that would be absolutely fine. Obviously, hopefully not a corner, because I feel like that's the one area we don't need, but yeah. Also, I'm looking at my stream over here. The face cam quality looks fairly low. I'll take a look at that for when we're doing our draft streams, because I want to get maybe the face cam quality a little bit up there. I don't know if it's my bit rate, my output. I'll figure that out. But we are 2 minutes away. 2 minutes away. Let's see if anything has updated since then. Vikings linebacker Ivan Pace receives a right of first refusal tender. And then apparently the 49ers are opening to trading Trent Williams. And honestly, Trent Williams has been the best offensive tackle in football over the past few years, but don't really think we need him, right? Garrett Bowles has played fine, right? Was up for Protector of the Year, and in my opinion, probably should have won it, but can call me biased. So I don't really think we need Trent Williams, but yeah, apparently the 49ers are open to trading him. Let's see here. And then potential landing spots for Kenneth Walker. I think last I checked, it's us, Kansas City. I think Washington, the Commanders are interested, and I think the Tennessee Titans. Those are the four that I've seen most recently. Maybe another team has jumped into the mix, but yeah, let's go ahead. Let's see. Let us see here. It might take a few seconds for deals to start coming in. Obviously, this is the legal tampering period, but teams have been doing a legal tampering period for a little bit now, obviously, because when deals start happening, they're not going to come together that quickly, right? So there's that, but yeah. All right. Accidentally went home. That's my bad. That's my fault. Let's see here. Let me do this real quick. I just don't want something popping up on there that's going to get me taken down, right, on just the home feed. So let's do that, and then we'll turn this back on. All right, here we go. All right. Legal tampering is officially open. Who will be the first deal of the 2026 offseason? All right. I guess I'll start filling this out for now. So quarterbacks right now, it's Bo Nix, it's Jarrett Stidham, which apparently teams still view him as a starting quarterback, so maybe we trade him. And then Sam Ehlinger we brought back last night. And then I wouldn't be surprised if we drafted a rookie, but for now, I believe that's what the quarterback room is going to look like. For running backs right now, it's under contract. We got R.J. Harvey. Jaleel McLaughlin isn't going to be under contract. I think it's Tyler Bidet. Is that all we have under contract right now? Right? Jaleel McLaughlin, free agent. J.K. Dobbins is a free agent. Cody Schrader, I think he was on the practice squad, but I think he's a free agent. So I think that's our free agents right now and then I can't remember if Adam Prentice is a fullback. He is a fullback. I can't remember if he is a free agent, but the Patriots have cut Jelani Tavai. So he is no longer with the Patriots. That's all the news we have. Let me open up a depth chart over here, just because I like to make my own depth chart. But yeah, we'll see. So Adam Prentice and Michael Burton are both UFAs. So right now it is just R.J. Harvey and Tyler Bidet on the roster for the running back position. Let's see here. Jaguars are re-signing linebacker Dennis Gardeck. 49ers, like I mentioned earlier, or like we saw earlier rather, are open to trading Trent Williams. That's it for now. For the offensive line, we got Garrett Bowles at left tackle. Left guard is Ben Powers. But honestly, we'll see what happens with Ben Powers. Alex Palczewski could start. Luke Wattenberg right here is a starting center. Then Quinn Miners, of course. And then the right tackle is Mike McGlinchey. That's kind of the starting offensive line. We'll go into depth later. Receivers, hopefully we make a move. We'll see. Yo, David, what's up? How's it going? Thank you for stopping by. And Alec Pierce is officially returning to the Colts. So that is one name off of the list for the Broncos to potentially go after. Alec Pierce is off the board. That kind of sucks. That does kind of suck. I mean, I'll be honest. I know a lot of people were higher on Alec Pierce than me, but I still would have welcomed him to the Broncos, right? 4-year, $116 million deal. I appreciate that, David. I love your content as well, man. I appreciate that so much. Let's see here. I want to pull up a calculator for the $116 million, right? 116 over 4 years, so $29 million a year. True. I'm glad he's not a Patriot either. Oh my goodness, that would have been annoying. That would have been annoying. All right, there's that. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Trying to see if they've updated the cap space, right? I think we've been working on some restructures, but I can't remember. I don't know if it's been updated yet or reported. So if you guys know that. I appreciate that, David. I think I'm already in it, though. I'm just not very active. Let me check on a second monitor here real quick. I think I'm in it though. Let's see. Let me do this real quick. Dude, the Troutman contract I think is a little bit much. I will say I'm someone who didn't mind bringing Troutman back if it was for a right price as kind of this tight end 3, but on a 3-year contract worth, what is it, like $6.1 million a year? I think it's a little much, right? I was expecting vet minimum, maybe $1 million, something like that, short term. Tight end 3, right? If you draft a rookie, he's there to kind of be a mentor and just a veteran presence in the locker room. But on a 3-year, $6.1 million deal, that's little rich for my blood personally, even though I didn't mind bringing him back on the short term. Yeah, I guess, yeah, 3-year contract for for a tight end 3. I see that. Did I see Oh, yeah. That 4 or 5 teams were in on him. Yeah, I I don't know about that. I don't know about that. All right. Let me turn this back on. Forgot I turned it off for a second there. But yeah, I'm with you. I don't being here for 3-year deal for tight end 3. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't mind him being like a transition guy, right? Going from a tight end or for a rookie tight end, right? Being a tight end 3 mentor, transitioning, and then you cut ties with him later. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. But yeah, Alameda Zacchaeus is expected to sign with the Falcons. Believe he was with the Falcons a few years back, if I'm not wrong. Romeo Dobbs, that's another name I know the Broncos were interested in. Let me go back here. Okay. Let's see here. But yeah, ideally for me, I'm hoping we grab a run or go after a running back early, and then if the right receiver is there, I wouldn't mind going after them as well. Keep an eye on Singleton to the Bills. I'll do that as long as he's not back to the Broncos. No offense to Alex, right? I think he's a great person, right? Battled a whole lot for coming back through cancer, right? Battling through that ACL in the Buccaneers game a few years back, but man, at that price point, that is that's a little steep for my blood. But yeah, I mean, Bills, hey, there we go. I mean, I feel mean for saying that, but at the end of the day, it is a business, right? And we need linebackers who can cover, and that's just something Singleton can't do, unfortunately. So, all right, let me continue with building out my personal depth chart. Let me take Drew. Dude, I honestly forget Drew Sanders exists sometimes. Let me throw him on here. But I make videos and then like I'll do the linebacker and go over the linebacker position group. And oh, did my internet just die? I hope not. I don't think it did. Okay. But dude, I forget he exists, in all honesty. Yo, Marcus, what's up? It's just crazy. He's been injured every year since he's entered the league. All right. Let's see. Former Bronco Draymond Jones is going to the Patriots on a 3-year deal. What was his projection? I think he tweeted something out last night. That's not what I wanted. That I don't know. He was projected a big contract, and he said, I don't know about that. But Draymond Jones going to the Patriots on a 3-year, $39 million deal. What's that? 39 over 3, $13 million a year. Okay. I mean, not bad value, I would say. What the Ravens give up for him was like a 4th-round pick. Can't remember. Ravens sent a 2026 conditional 5th-round pick. Okay. I mean, not bad for a rental, obviously. Yeah, honestly, that's a great deal. Uh, a linebacker I really like on day 3 is BYU. Honestly, I haven't done a whole lot of research on him just because I've been so focused in on Jacob Rodriguez and Tareen York, but I'm starting to kind of do my evaluations now, so I'll definitely keep an eye out on Jack Kelly for sure. Yeah, I'm hoping I don't know. We've been so spoiled over the past few free agents that the Broncos have been active early, but we'll see if we are this year. Eric Stokes agrees to a 3-year, $30 million deal for Vegas, the former Packers first rounder. Dude, I remember when their Aaron Rodgers trade to the Broncos was coming up. We were going to trade, or it was going to be like all those first round picks, and then we were going to swap Pat Surtain for Eric Stokes. And oh my gosh, am I glad we did not do that. I didn't think it was going to happen, but am I glad we did not do that. All right. So the most updated number I'm seeing for what's this? Our cap space right now is it's saying $34 million right now for this upcoming season. But it could be out of date because I don't know if everything's been updated since last night. But plus, like the signings and the what's it called, the restructures. All right, let me finally get this up and going. All I want is a running back. Yeah, same. Say we need to establish that ground game. Deuce Vaughn. Yeah, I mean, kind of forgot we signed him to the practice squad. If I'm being honest with you. I know we signed Cody Schrader to the practice squad. I kind of forgot about Deuce Vaughn. Did we actually release him? I can't remember. Dude, why is this not working? I think everyone's just flooding to this site right now. All right. We didn't? Yeah, I guess he was on the practice squad and I just forgot. For some reason, I thought we released him, but no, that's fine. I mean, I don't mind Deuce Vaughn. He's just small, right? I think he's one of the shortest players in the NFL. Let's see. Yeah, he's 5'6". 5'6". Good change of pace back, I guess, if you want to hide him behind the offensive line. But I don't know. I think we just need a thumper, honestly. Wouldn't mind him as like a potential RB4 because we look at our current running backs. RJ Harvey, I like as a receiving guy. Tyler Bidet is just a pass protector. Every single time he was in the game, you knew it was going to be a pass play because he's in there to pass protect. I just want a true 3-down running back, and then you can have a nice change of pace guy. The estimation is that we'll have $23 million in cap space after the Strnad, Trautman, and Atkins deal. Yeah, that probably sounds about right. I can't remember how much we had before we signed those deals. I thought it was like 26 or something, but I don't know if we made some restructures or what have you. But it kind of sounds like a fair estimation. Yeah, does everyone have a preference of who they want the Broncos to sign? Because for me, I'm a Kenneth Walker guy, and I've been a Kenneth Walker guy since, what was that draft? It was 22, I think, out of Michigan State. I, but I know a lot of Broncos fans are split on him, right? I know a lot of Broncos fans want Travis Etienne, or some people want Rico, right? Obviously, we have more realistic options than others, but for me, if I had to pick, I think I would choose Kenneth Walker. It's about 30 million with the minors restructure. Oh, thank you. Perfect. Perfect. Because I didn't see the cap number. But the good thing, he could be a gadget player, kick returner, give. Yeah, I guess that's true. I think the biggest thing with Marvin Mims being a punt returner is he's so great, but it's sometimes you worry about the injury, and that obviously happened. What was it? It was prior to the Houston Texans game. Marvin Mims went down with a concussion, and so you're missing one of your best players with the ball in his hands. So yeah, there's definitely that. So I mean, I wouldn't mind that, right? Especially with the other players, right? You lost Tremon Smith 2 years ago, so you lost a great return man there. So you got what Tyler Bidet, I think, was back there with kickoffs at the end of the season. So yeah, Ken Walker, then Dowdle. I'm down with that. I'm down with that. I mean, I like Travis Etienne, but I feel like he's been kind of up and down throughout his career. It doesn't have the Etienne, Walker, White. Yeah, I mean, Travis Etienne had a great season. I'm just worried about. I feel like he's been kind of up and down throughout his career. If that kind of worries me, but I definitely feel like he's. I wouldn't mind him. Seems like there's a lot of smoke with Casey signing Walker. Yeah, I've seen the reports leading up to today, and I don't love that. Obviously, I want the Broncos to get him, but if we don't get him, there's no way. There's no way I want him going to the Chiefs. But to be honest, would I rather have the Chiefs get Kenneth Walker or have Jeremiah Love fall to them? Now, I think Jeremiah Love's probably going top 3, top 5, but man, would I hate that if the Chiefs got Jeremiah Love. He's going to be such a stud in the NFL. Still, so far, it's Eric Stokes, Draymond Jones, Alec Pierce, and then did I miss anyone else? I don't think so. All right, I need a. Okay, let's. Dude, that is actually my nightmare. I was worried about at pick 9 when Sadiq was getting a lot of buzz, and he's still getting buzz. I think he's going before the Broncos pick, unfortunately. But I was worried about them getting Love or Sadiq at pick number 9, right? I think there was a bunch of Chiefs fans online going, do we want Jeremiah Love or Kenyon Sadiq? It's like one or the other, and I'd hate that. But now that they have 2 first-round picks and could get both, that would actually be my nightmare. That is that is my nightmare. Holy cow. I guess I will fill out the special teams here. All right. Let's see here. Do we have an update on the signings? Just a nice page to see them all. Not yet that I see, but keep an eye on it. All right. Yeah, running backs. I think that's kind of the consensus among everyone. Everyone wants a running back. All right. Let me continue to work on this because I wanted to work on this when we do have down moments right now and just put who we have on the roster, and then we'll continue to update it as free agent signings come in. We've got quarterbacks, we've got running backs. Is Cody Schrader a free agent? I think he is, right? But yeah, he's definitely a free agent. Just wanted to double check. All right. Let's get Frank Crum in here, and then Center, Alex Forsyth. And then where? Man, I wish my other depth chart was working so I could actually. Okay, there we go. Finally. Does anyone want Kamara, or are we over his career? I mean, I wouldn't mind him, but I would kind of want a guy long term. And I do feel like Kamara is kind of reaching the end of his career. But, I mean, I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't hate it. He's still under contract with the Saints, right? So it would have to be a trade. I guess he could be cut. But, yeah, it would probably have to be a trade. And I don't know. It would depend on the cost that you would have to get for Kamara. I would rather go after a free agent. But if worst case scenario occurs, I wouldn't mind Alvin Kamara. Reunite Jordan with Sean Payton if John Franklin Myers unfortunately decides to. I mean, I wouldn't mind that. I think it's pretty likely John Franklin Myers leaves. Just I don't think we have the cap space to keep him. But for sure, I wouldn't mind that at all. He is up there in age, right? If you're talking about Cam Jordan, I'm assuming. But, yeah, I wouldn't mind that at all. Dude, why does this keep happening? Keep trying to see the restricted free agents so I don't put them on here, and then it just keeps going, whatever. Whatever. Let's check. Let's update this. Eric Stokes. Oh, man. Oh, man. Former Seahawks running back Kenneth Walker is signing with the Chiefs. Dude. Yeah. Dude, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. We'll have to see what the deal is because there were rumors the Chiefs weren't willing to spend on a running back, but man, I hate that. All right. Yeah, I'm in on Etienne now. I'm in on Dowdle. And hoping we get one of those two. Or I'm cool with running it back with J.K. Dobbins so long as we address the running back early in the draft, right? A Jadarian Price, Jonah Coleman, Nick Singleton. There's some guys early who I like, Katron Allen. Gotta address like J.K. Dobbins, a rookie, and then Harvey. Fine with that. Or we grab Travis Etienne or Rico Dowdle. Because I'm looking at the other running backs. Don't really love any of the other options available. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, slim pickings. Slim pickings for sure. I guess, where's another one? I always mix up his name and Dameon Pierce's name. Where is it? Let me see. Tyler Algier. Jeez. Yeah, I always mix him and Dameon Pierce up for whatever reason. Twice a year, I know. Yeah. Yeah, we got to stop the run. It's unfortunate because that's the one thing you could count on with the Chiefs last year. Pacheco wasn't great. Kareem Hunt wasn't great. So the run game wasn't really a threat. But now you obviously get the Super Bowl MVP. Man, dude, that sucks. Oh, well. Got to improve. Hopefully, I mean, I definitely want a linebacker for sure, whether that's early in the draft or in free agency, right? Nakobe Dean, great player, does have a little bit of an injury history. Where's the other one? Devin Lloyd. I'm kind of in on Devin Lloyd now, right? Stop the run, help in coverage. I mean, wouldn't mind Bobby Okereke. Probably not my first choice. Leo Chenal, get him from the Chiefs. It's kind of that's where my head's at. Nakobe Dean would be fun, but you got to be wary of the injury, right? But you did just re-sign Justin Strnad. You got Devin Lloyd, who would probably be my first choice, but I think he's going to command an expensive market. And then you're also going to have, who did I just mention? Leo Chenal, and then Bobby Okereke, kind of like eh, you know. Caden Ellis, too. I forgot to mention him. Yeah. Yeah, Nakobe Dean would be awesome. Did Peyton lose a bidding war? I mean, I hope not, but what's the Chiefs' cap space compared to ours? I mean, they had less than us. So, I mean, I hope they did it. What I'm really hoping is Kenneth Walker wasn't their guy and they're going after someone else. Ideally, but who knows? I'm still looking for the Chiefs contract or the Kenneth Walker's contract. Let's see. I don't know if it's been released yet, the details. I'd imagine it's like a 3-4 year deal. Bobby Edmonds, Terrell Edmonds, right? Yeah, it's dude, I always mix up the brothers Tremaine and Terrell Edmonds, dude. I've never been able to get them right since they were drafted back in 2018. But yeah, I wouldn't mind Edmonds either. Okereke, like I said, I wouldn't mind Bobby Okereke, depending on the price, right? Logan Wilson, wouldn't mind depending on the price, but I'm really looking for someone who can cover. That's kind of the main thing. Demario Davis, a former Sean Payton guy, if you could get him on a cheaper deal. All right. Let's do this refresh and then Buccaneers re-signing K. Dot, and that's unfortunate. Someone who I would have liked to bring in for a blocking tight end, but heading back to the Bucks. Daniel Bellinger's another blocking guy who I like, but I'm just gonna say the truth, and it's probably not what everyone wants to hear, but I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I don't think we're signing another tight end. I think when we address tight end again, it will probably be in the draft, right? Bringing back Troutman and Adkins. I highly doubt we sign another tight end. Tremaine, I think, is a linebacker. Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. I thought they were both linebackers, but Terrell might be a safety. Yeah, you're right. Terrell is the safety. Tremaine is the linebacker. All right. Got Alex Palczewski here. Let's see. Mm, let's see. Offensive line here. Um, Nick Gargiulo. And then, dude, it says Matt Parrott's still on the team. Let's see his contract. We did sign him to a two-year deal last offseason. For some reason, I thought it was a one-year deal, but, I mean, you could have him as a cap casualty if you need to cut him, especially with the emergence of Frank Crum, but... Bucks re-signing K. Dotton. K. Dotton back to Tampa. I want to see Kenneth Walker's contract, but I feel like that's going to be released a little bit from now. That's always how it is, right? I was watching the NHL trade deadline, and you always see the deals of what teams gave up way, way, way after you see that there's been a trade that's been made. So, all right. Dude, this site keeps crashing. Holy cow. Honestly, maybe I just take a screenshot. There. Now if the website goes down, I have this. Okay. We got the offensive line. The tight end now, we'll just fill this out. Adam Troutman and then Nate Atkins. Receivers, it's going to be, you got Court. And then, dude, honestly, this is the problem, right? You got Troy Franklin, who I still like. Need to see him take a step up. Is like Pat Bryant, your big slot guy, and then you got Marvin Mims as your gadget. And then, yeah, that's about it. So definitely want to address the receiver position as well at some point, but I definitely think running back is kind of the way to go here. At least at the start of free agency. Because let me look at the running backs compared to the receivers right now. We've gone over this, right? Travis Etienne, Rico Dowdle, and J.K. Dobbins. Those are kind of the three that I'm going for with everyone else available. Then if we go over to the receiver, if we want to get another guy, you got Mike Evans. Kind of sounds like he's not going to be coming to Denver. I mean, it's fairly slim pickings here too. Yeah, I mean, slim pickings, but there's also receivers that, I don't know. I just find the best value, man. Just find the best value. Linebacker kind of would be the way I'd go now based on how things are shaping up. But it's a 3-year deal up to $45 million. Okay. $15 million a year. $15 million a year, which, I mean, that's kind of the range he was expected to go in. Sounded like the Chiefs weren't going to pay that much, but they did end up going to pay Kenneth Walker. So, yeah, I mean, that's unfortunate. Got to stop the run now. Got to play bully ball up front, which I like our defensive line. Let's fill this out while we're doing this. We got DJ Jones up front. Like him as a run stopper. Zach Allen. And then, honestly, at right defensive end here, it's probably, I'd probably say it's Malcolm Roach. Unless you want to put Savion Jones there, but it's kind of how it's filling out right now. Let me do this. Unless you bring back John Franklin Myers, which I'm not opposed to anymore now. And then, yeah, you got Iomo Wazarike, Jordan Jackson as well. Not necessarily these. They're not playing necessarily in these positions. I'm just getting our defensive line filled out, and then I'll update this as the day goes on. All right. All right. Still quiet from the Broncos here, obviously. All right, let me see. Let's go back here. Quarterback, we've gotten done. Running backs, we've gotten done. Fullbacks, we don't have any on the active roster. Tight ends, we have gotten done. Offensive line, we've gotten done. Receivers, we've gotten done. Defense, got the defensive line done here. I guess we can go to edges, right? With Jonathan. Jeez Louise. Jonathan Cooper, Nick Benito. And then, of course, you have Jonah Ellis. And Dondre Tillman. And then who else do you have? Johnny Walker, right? We'll just keep this for now. We'll keep this for now. Rams are signing Jalen Watson to a 3-year deal, so they have both of the Chiefs corners, right? Two of the Chiefs corners, and Trent McDuffie from last season and Jalen Watson. But man, see what happens with the Chiefs in the draft. I'm hoping it's not Sadiq, right? They could try and replace him. I don't think they take Sadiq at 9, but maybe they trade down or trade up from 29. Man. Dude, that's right. I forgot about Q Robinson. Holy cow, I can't believe I forgot about him. I was just talking about him last night in my 2025 draft grades. Dude, I loved Q Robinson. I thought he played fantastic. So right. So right. I mean, you can think what you want, Biggie, but they still have the draft to, and they still have all free agency as well. I mean, I'm hoping you're right. And they can't stop anybody. Don't get me wrong, but still. You don't want to see your rival team sign a player you think is good, so Commanders and Laramie Tunsil reach a 2-year, $60.2 million agreement. That's a good player. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you can think what you like. You can think what you like. All right. Let's get this stack room filled out now. So this is like the one position outside of quarterback I don't want the Broncos to draft, right? Not because there's not talented players there, but man, we do not need we do not need anybody else. And then you got Jade, who honestly sounds like he might be trying to move outside. Potentially, we'll have to see how that goes. Let's see, Sertan, McMillan, Riley Moss, Jade. Then you got Chris Abrams-Drain and Taylor Reese. Who honestly, I'm gonna put Chris Abrams-Drain at the slot because I do think Barron maybe moves to outside, and Chris Abrams-Drain is more of a slot guy. And then you also have, not Devin Key, you have Taylor Reese. And then for the safeties, right, you got Brandon Jones. And, of course, you got Talanoa, who, let's see, yeah. Talanoa Hufunga. And then Devin Key, who the Broncos really like. Great special teamer. It sounds like they want to get him more involved on the defense. And then JL Skinner. It's kind of like a rough estimate of how things are on the roster. Jalen Phillips on a 4-year, $120 million deal agrees with the Panthers. So the Eagles rental, who they got from the Dolphins, is going to the Panthers. Good get for the Panthers, right? Got to the playoffs, and they don't want it to be a one-year wonder where they got there because their division was so weak. They're trying to make some splash signings. So, hey, good for them. Yeah, good for them. I will say, whoa. The Colts are trading Michael Pittman Jr. to the Steelers. That's crazy. He was just congratulating Alec Pierce on his contract extension, and then boom, he gets shipped off to Pittsburgh. Dang, that's crazy. So Pittsburgh now has Michael Pittman Jr. and DK Metcalf. They're building a tall wide receiver room. But back on Jalen Phillips, he does have a little bit of an injury history, right? Going back to college, right? Couple concussions that forced him to not be able to play. I think it was at UCLA or something. He wasn't able to continue playing football there, so he had a transfer, goes to Miami, ends up being, I believe it was a first-round pick, maybe second to the Dolphins. They ship him off last season to the Eagles, and now he gets a big-time payday from the Panthers. I mean, you can think what you want of Kenneth Walker. I like Kenneth Walker, but that doesn't mean you have to think he's good as well. So, but yeah, now the Steelers have DK, and they got Michael Pittman on the outside for, I would presume it's going to be Aaron Rodgers, right? Well, maybe not. Maybe they draft a rookie. We'll see. But they're helping whoever their quarterback's going to be. And also, Biggie, the Raiders have Ashton Genty, so they spent what, a top 5 pick on him, so he's clearly the running back there in Vegas. That's fair. I mean, yeah. We also don't. I mean, that's fair. He's not going to be able to catch it out of the backfield, but we also really don't need that. We got R.J. Harvey to be the receiving back, so. But if you want a complete back, I understand not wanting Kenneth Walker. I like the idea of having Kenneth Walker, R.J. Harvey. You got Tyler Bidet as a pass protector, and then you go after a guy at some point in the draft in like the 4th, 5th round. But yeah, if you want the complete package, I understand not wanting Walker for sure. It does matter, right? You're not going to spend a top 5 pick on a guy, and then I guess you could if you want to do that for his system. If you want to do it for his rookie contract, rather. I wouldn't mind Tyler Algier. Tyler Algier for me. Let me look at the running backs. For me, it's going to be. I think it's Travis Etienne right now, Rico Dowdle, J.K. Dobbins, and then I wouldn't mind Tyler Algier. Those are kind of the 4 running backs I'm kind of after right now if I'm the Broncos. And the Raiders can also get a cheaper guy in free agency too, so they can move elsewhere. And you can think what you want. You don't have to police people into thinking how you think, Biggie, right? You have your opinion on Kenneth Walker, and that's perfectly fine. Doesn't mean I have to agree. So. Let me see if I can get. Seeing the available free agents. Let me see if I can get a list of all the free agents that have officially signed up here too, so we know who's off the board, right? So just to clear everything up, all the signings that have happened is Cade Otton's going back to the Buccaneers. Olamide Zacchaeus is going back to the Falcons on a team he was with a few years ago. Dennis Gardeck is going back to the Jags. The Chargers signed fullback Alec Ingold and Tyler Biotish, a center. Eric Stokes is re-signing with the Raiders. Draymond Jones is going to the Patriots. Kenneth Walker going to the Chiefs. Jalen Watson is going to the Rams. Alec Pierce is re-signing with the Colts, and Jalen Phillips is going to the Panthers. Those are all the free agent signings that have happened in the last 48 minutes since free agency opened. I don't think Dowdle opens that door to bring back J.K. and no. I mean, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying all of those happen, right? Sorry, I misread your comments, Marcus. Let me read that. I think Dowdle opens the door to also bring back J.K. Add in a draft pick that would be a deep room. Yeah, I mean, I'd be open for that too, right? Because for me, Dowdle, he had a really good season. Wouldn't mind pairing Dowdle with Dobbins with RJ Harvey, and then you get a guy who you're hoping to develop to maybe eventually take over as a running back 1 in that room. I'd be all for that. I don't know if we'd have the cap space for that, but if we were able to do that, I would be all for that. I'd be all for that. Malik Willis is headed to Miami on a 3-year deal. I mean, it makes sense after releasing Tua. You need to find a quarterback some way. I was super high on Malik Willis back in that 22 draft. Obviously, goes in the 3rd round, 4th round to the Titans. It's the backup there. Never really gets a shot. Goes to Green Bay. Balls out. Performs pretty well. And now becomes a starting quarterback in Miami. And I think that's probably going to fetch the Packers a very nice comp pick in the 2027 draft, which is a very, very deep draft, by the way, I should add. The Ravens are signing offensive lineman John Simpson to a 3-year, $30 million deal. And the Colts open up $24 million in cap space. I mean, yeah, if you see Alec Pierce as your wide receiver 1, I like Michael Pittman, but he was kind of up and down. So I'm trying to say is with pieces on defense, Kansas City losing. Let me reread that. With pieces on defense, Kansas City losing, you can say rookies can come there and fill the spots. Most likely. That's how you feel. That's how you feel about Kenneth Walker, right? Losing, you can say. Let's say is with the pieces on defense. Kansas City losing. You can say rookies can come. Bears are signing defensive tackle Neville Gallimore to a 2-year, $12 million deal. Things are starting to pick up here. Isaiah Likely to the Giants on a 3-year, $40 million deal. That's tight end. If we didn't re-sign Troutman, I would have liked the Broncos to go after, right? More of a receiver, but I do feel like he fits the mold of our offense more than an Evan Ingram, who's just a pure receiver. But I think that Isaiah Likely is a more pure tight end in terms of hand in the dirt, can play in line, can do some blocking if you need him to, but going to be a nice receiver. So good for Isaiah Likely headed to the Giants. Sounds like Mark Andrews is going to be the tight end there for his entire career, right? John Simpson, we just got that one. Yeah, things are starting to pick up here. While we're here, this is last year's free agency in terms of the re-signings. I hate talk to text. Fair enough. Who have we re-signed? Let me think. Let me put their names down. It's Justin Strnad. I'm having a hard time typing today. Adam Troutman, Nate Atkins, Sam Ellinger, and then I think that's it. I mean, there were some tender offers, right, to Jaquan McMillan and whatnot, but I'm going to see if we can find all of those. Right? Tyler Bidet, he's still listed as an exclusive rights free agent. I believe we came to terms with him and Devon Key, or Devin Key. Can't speak. And Dondre Tillman. I believe we came to terms with them, but they're not updated yet. But I'll probably add them into. Well, yeah, I'll add them in once we get all those details and whatnot. Yeah, KC lost 2 of their corners to the Rams. Jalen Watson, who I honestly think Jalen Watson's a little bit of an underrated corner. But then obviously the McDuffie trade. That's the thing about the Chiefs. They don't re-sign corners. They draft, they develop, and then they send them out. It's rinse and repeat, right? So it's going to be like Noel Williams is going to be one of their starters, 3rd-round pick from this past season. So Steelers signed Michael Pittman to a 3-year, $59 million contract. Jeez. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Okay. We'll continue filling this out. Linebacker, tight ends, tight end, quarterback. We'll add the age later. Strnad, it was a 3-year deal. Troutman was a 3-year deal. Adkins was a 1, and Sam Ellinger was a 2-year deal. Let me go back. It might be a 1-year deal actually. I think it was $2 million. It might be a 1-year deal. I think it probably is a 1-year deal. I also just saw Joseph Osai. Yeah, it's a 1-year deal. I saw Joseph Osai just got signed. So, yep. Bengals pass rusher Joseph Osai is going to the Jets, which is interesting because I feel like the Bengals would want to keep some of their defensive players, but hey, I'm not a Bengals fan as well, so. And then these are all re-signings. AAVs for Strenat, I think it was $6.5 million. Adam Troutman was 6-1. Nate Atkins, I have no idea actually, and then Sam Ellinger, it was $2 million. With Kansas City trading away the top 5 corner, they lost the other corner to the opposing side. They're losing their inside linebackers. Yeah, no, you're right. They traded away their best corner in Trent McDuffie. They lost corner Jalen Watson, and then their linebacker Leo Chenal is also a free agent. We can sort by teams here. Let me see. For the Chiefs, the defensive players they're losing are going to be Michael Dana, but I feel like he was kind of a depth guy for them. Charles Omenihu, Jack Cochran, Nazeeh Johnson, Jerry Tillery, Brian Cook, Derek Nottie. I mean, the big ones, there's some guys they're losing, but I think the big ones that they're losing, let's sort this by defense. The big ones they're losing are, of course, trading away Trent McDuffie, losing Jalen Watson, and then it's going to be, where is he? Did he just get signed? Because he's not on here anymore. Oh, there he is. There, I guess there's a second page. Leo Chenal and the two corners are really the big pieces they're losing. There's also other depth pieces they're losing, but those are the 3 big ones that they are losing. Let me see Nate Atkins' contract, see if we have the details of that yet. Bears signed Neville Gallimore. Vikings signed James Pierce, and Jets signed Joseph Osai. Okay, we've seen most of those. Panthers are re-signing one of their corners, Caleb Evans. And we are up to date there. Let's see. Nate Atkins. Do we have the details on his contract yet? I don't think so. Yeah, I'm not seeing the cap breakdown. I'm not seeing the number for him. Well, it's probably not going to be a lot. At least I hope it's not. Hope it's not a lot. Let's be honest here, but we're up to date. I guess I'm just going to continue to update this thing right now. We'll continue. Let's do this. Draft picks we have right now. I'm just filling what we do have. The draft. Oh, geez. That was horrible wording. I'm filling out the draft picks we do have. And then we are going to eventually, we could obviously trade up. We could trade down so we could lose more picks. We could gain more picks. But we have 2 4s, a 5th. And then I think we have, I believe it's projected that we're going to have 3 7ths. So I'll just put that in there for now. That's not the right one. There's that. And then center these. There we go. I believe those are our projected picks right now. And then we'll see what happens if we trade up, trade down. So I probably should have made a wish list. But I guess well, let's catch up here. Pass rusher Kingsley Enagbare is going to the Jets on a 1-year deal. Bears are trying to sign former Seahawks corner Kobe Bryant. Looks like they're in a battle with the Seahawks. And there's that. All right. So for me, With the running backs left, let's go all teams here. All positions, running backs. Right. Travis Etienne, Rico Dowdle, J.K. Dobbins, and then there is Tyler Algier. Those are the 4 running backs I want. I mean, there would be some I'd be okay with, but not thrilled about, where I definitely would want to draft a guy fairly early in the draft. Receivers, obviously, Mike Evans would be fun. But after that, I mean, what, Juwan Jennings maybe? I mean, it's slim pickings. Slim pickings. Romeo Dobbs would be a guy who I wouldn't mind, actually. I mean, would he be a wide receiver 1? No, but he would be a nice complementary piece. And then for me, it's kind of the linebackers are where the most players are available with Tremaine Edmonds, Bobby Okereke. This is no particular order. Demario Davis on a short-term deal with him getting up there in age. Where is he? What's his name? What's his name from the Eagles? Oh my goodness. I'm blanking. I said his name 50 times today too. Nakobe Dean, there he is. Leo Chenal. Those are kind of the guys who I'm looking at. Might have forgot a guy here and there. Just losing 3 key defensive players on the defense side of the ball. Patrick Mahomes probably won't be ready until week 5 to week 10. I know reports say week 1, but everyone. I mean, yeah, you're probably right, but we'll have to see when he does officially come back. Right? I mean, Adrian Peterson, I believe he came back earlier than expected, and I know that's an extreme case scenario. That's speedy recovery, but I mean, there are reports for a reason. Everyone does know it's a year, but there are reports for a reason. So, but I'm with you. He probably won't return right away at the start of the season. I would imagine he comes back after the first quarter of the season, probably somewhere in that timeline. All right, yeah, we're currently up to date. All right. I guess I'll make this section. Nah, we already have this. Let me try and copy this real quick. Down here, this will be my wish list in no particular order. Let's see. Let's have Travis Etienne. Let's have Rico Dowdle. We have J.K. Dobbins, and then I always mix him up with Damian Pierce from the Falcons. Tyler Algier, that's who it is. Tyler Algier. Then for receivers, did Mike Evans? That'd be like dream scenario, but I'm kind of doubting it happens, right? Romeo Dobbs. I mean, that's really it. Let's see. Receiver. I mean, Juwan Jennings, I wouldn't mind. Rashid Shaheed, I forgot he's a free agent too. Rashid Shaheed, I wouldn't mind. And then, how do we get to right tackle? What the heck? And then, like, maybe like a Juwan Jennings. And again, I could be forgetting a lot of players, right? There's Nakobe Dean. Devin Lloyd is kind of the guy who I'm really wanting right now at the linebacker position. Let's see. Then we got, again, no particular order, Tremaine, Edmonds. And again, why does this website keep switching, man? Holy cow, just stay on the page I tell you to. Here we go. Bobby Okereke. Mario Davis. Caden Ellis. And then Leo Chenal. Is anyone else? We'll add more if we need to. For now, this is good. All right, let's see. Any new updated news? Let's take a look here. Well, okay, we can take Demario Davis immediately off that board, as he's going to the New York Jets. Getting their former third-round pick. Titans are signing Mitch Trubisky to back up Cam Ward to be a veteran presence, it looks like. 2-year deal. James Pierce headed to the Vikings. And I think we're up to date. I think we are back up to date. I know as soon as I end the stream, too, we're going to sign someone. It happened last year. Last year, we were in talks with Talanoa Hufanga, and then didn't officially happen until a few minutes after I ended the stream. And then we signed Draymond Jones later that day. So that's just kind of how it goes. That's how it's bound to happen that way. But, yeah. Are the cap spaces updating? I don't think they're going to really update unless it's a re-signing until the league new year on Wednesday. But Falcons are signing Austin Hooper. I think he had a nice season in New England, considering he wasn't even the tight end one. I guess we'll add positions right here. Give us something to do. Running back, running back, running back. Oh, man. Come on, man. Running back, receiver. Wouldn't mind Rashid Shaheed. I think we were in on him at the trade deadline, but obviously he ended up going to Seattle. And I can't believe Seattle's letting him test the market, but hey, good for them. And we'll bring Caden Ellis and Leo Chenal up here. We'll get linebacker here, linebacker here. Delete that, and then we will do this, do this, do this, do that. Forgot Austin Hooper, honestly, started with the Falcons, but he's back. Back in Atlanta. All right, let me check something real quick. Have you heard anything about the trade for Miami for a running back? I have heard that Miami is potentially opening to trading Devon Achane. And I would be all for that, in all honesty. I think Achan is a fantastic back. Would be down for that for sure. For sure. Kenneth Gainwell is going to the Buccaneers. But yeah, I mean, I'd be fine with that. Right? I think Achan is fantastic, a fantastic running back, right? I'd be open to trading for him or Jalen Waddle if one of them were made available, right? Would be an absolute spark plug for the offense, right? So Achan would be perfectly okay with trading for. Especially if Miami's kind of going into this rebuild. Absolutely. Absolutely. I would trade for Devon Achan from Miami. All right. Things are dying down just a little bit. Kenneth Gainwell's contract to the Buccaneers is a 2-year, $14 million deal. Not bad value. For those of you who don't know, uh, Oklahoma State alum, so my guy Jalen Warren is there in Pittsburgh. So obviously he took some carries away from my guy, but no, he's a solid back, solid back. I don't know if I would like him if the Broncos made this move for a running back one per se, but I think he's a nice complimentary guy who can play if you need him to. That being said, the Broncos running back room is pretty thin as is, so I shouldn't really be complaining or talking about running back play, right, until we fix our own. But hey, we'll see. The Giants have agreed to terms with former Ravens punter Jordan Stout, according to Peter Schrager. Man, I hope we're cooking up something. The deal for Jordan Stout is a 3-year, $12.3 million, a deal that makes him the highest paid punter in the NFL. I mean, I guess it's great. Got George Payton's got a tail to sign free agents. 1 year, next year, bottom shops. Yeah, I'm with you. I feel like for the most part with Sean Payton, we've been signing at least one free agent early, but I'm with you. 1 year, we're signing loads of free agents right away, and then the next year, we're just waiting for a couple hours until the first move is made. So I'm with you. I'm with you right there. Alex Anzalone, linebacker, signing a 2-year, $17 million deal with the Bucks. But yeah, I mean, you would think, obviously, we're out of Russ's dead cap hit. You'd think we'd maybe make a move. I know we have not the most amount of money in free agency, but we're up there, right? According to this page, right? And things could have changed since this was made, right? I believe it was updated early this morning, but it said right now we're sitting at 11th in cap space, right? So who knows? Maybe we're negotiating a deal. Maybe we're negotiating a trade. That's obviously wishful thinking, but yeah. Patriots are signing fullback Reggie Gilliam on a 3-year deal up to $12 million, $6 million fully guaranteed. Yeah, I mean, I like free agency, but I definitely prefer the draft more because you kind of know when your team's going to go up to pick, right? Obviously, you could trade up, trade down, and that's like the nice surprises of the draft, right? That's why I love the NFL draft. More so because it connects college to the NFL, and you kind of see what's supposed to be your future, right? Love that aspect, but here you can make a move whenever, but sometimes maybe you don't make a move. Love the draft because you kind of know when you're going to make a move, and then you could get surprised and pick earlier, or you could get more value, trade down, what have you. But free agency is still a good time. Speaking of the draft, I actually need to redo my graphics. I had a my computer had or lost a lot of stuff because it broke, so I have to remake my graphics. I still think I have the trade up graphic. I just need to remake everything in terms of the on the clock and stuff. So gonna have to start working overtime here soon to make that, or to get my stuff working for the draft if we want everything working properly. But yeah, it's kind of a fun project, right? Passion project. Another big punter deal. The Vikings are signing, or sorry, former Vikings punter Ryan Wright, is signing a 4-year, $14 million deal with $8 million guaranteed to the Saints. And yeah, that's everything so far. That is everything so far. All right. Let me refresh the cap page. Yeah, it still hasn't updated, so I'm assuming this is from still this morning. Let's see. Teams. Broncos. Let's see here. Does it have the extensions in already from who we just signed? I want to see. I want to see. Search. No, I think this is before the signings, right? David estimated around $24 million that we'd have, which I guess sounds kind of, or not kind of, sounds right, I would say. But yeah. Kind of hit a lull here. Hit a little bit of a lull. But yeah, we are about not an hour and a half. That's how long the stream's been up. We are about hour 20 into free agency so far. I guess legal tampering technically. No rumors yet. No rumors for the Broncos yet, right? This time last year was the Talanoa Hufanga rumor, but it took forever to figure out what was going on there. Hopefully something is around the corner, but of course that's just me being impatient and wanting some Broncos news, seeing who the newest Denver Broncos is going to be. Look for someone in the running back room like Robertson. They're probably going to bring I'm assuming you mean JK back. I would assume probably. I'd assume JK's probably coming back, and I wouldn't be mad at that. You just have to build the running back room around him, right? You'd have Dobbins, Harvey as a receiving guy, but Dobbins also has an injury history, so you'd want a 3-down back, someone who could come in and be a 3-down running back when J.K. Dobbins Hopefully he doesn't go down with an injury. But if he does, you got another guy who can step up, right? So just need to build a deep running back room. I'm all for bringing J.K. Dobbins back. I thought he was fine. I thought he played actually really solid for the team, but just the injuries. The injuries are unfortunate. Also, accidentally went to my homepage. I need to get back to the menu. Hopefully, just doing this so yeah. Just doing this just in case. Okay, we're back. There we go. The Commanders are signing cornerback Amik Robertson to a 2-year, $16 million deal. We saw the Reggie Gilliam news. Malik Willis, yeah, we saw that a while ago. Panthers cornerback and special teamer Robert Rochelle is headed back to Carolina. Okay. And we're just waiting. I'm going to see if there's any news elsewhere. I doubt there is, right? But so according to a Denver reporter, this was actually a while ago. They're not on my list, right? I have a list of NFL insiders, but I don't include a lot of Broncos reporters just because I like to get the national perspective of the insiders. But apparently, the Broncos aren't in the running back for free agent running back Tyler Algier. I mean, we'll see if that ends up being true, but yeah, we'll see. Also, Kobe Bryant and the Bears, the Seahawks and the Bears were in a bidding war for Kobe Bryant. He's going to the Bears. They win that bidding war. So another Seahawk is headed elsewhere. So maybe the Broncos sign him Rashid Shaheed. Get a speedster that we wouldn't utilize properly. That's mean. Sorry, that's mean. Maybe things will change now with Davis Webb calling the plays. But I do remember when the Seahawks drafted him, it was that it's the first year Russ came to Denver after that trade, right? They drafted two rookies. It was Tariq Woolen and Kobe Bryant, and he started in that Monday night game in Seattle. Now he is headed to the Bears, which is crazy because time is flying, right? Feels like he hasn't been in the league for 4 years already. That's crazy. Crazy, 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 crazy. All right. I still think there are some things I can update here with the depth pieces, right? With some guys signing. I'll update this, and if you guys are wanting this, then I might make a copy available at some point to look at. This is just my personal depth chart that I like to have of the roster, and then players on injured reserve, the players on the practice squad, what the current draft class was like. Let's get this up to 2026 for when April happens. And then the free agency tracker, and then color code it. Yeah. And I do eventually I want to be able to have drop down menus, have trades, right? Have cap stuff in it. But for now, this is just kind of my personal one. If I ever do make it public, I do want to add some more to it so it's more of a useful tool rather than just another depth chart when you could easily just Google a depth chart. But right now, it's just my personal one. I like to have a personal one of how I see. By the way, Daniel Bellinger is re-signing with the Titans, as you can see. But it's like my personal one. I like to see or lay it out how I envision the team sometimes. But yeah, for now, it does what it needs to do. Daniel Bellinger is headed to the Titans, another blocking guy who is off the board. How much is he worth? Do we have how much Daniel Bellinger signed for? Because, yeah, if it's a crazy tight end market, yeah, we'll see. Obviously, we'll see. George Payton might have hit the snooze button on the phone today. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I feel like everyone makes that joke when their team is inactive. Yep. Again, these free agents aren't, or the signings aren't made official until Wednesday when the league new year begins. So technically, you could back out of a contract, and we saw that a couple years ago when the Cowboys supposedly re-signed Randy Gregory, and then we swooped in and signed him, and then that was not great signing from us, right? Well, maybe both ways. It didn't work out, but yeah, obviously, just giving that as an example because the deals aren't going to be official until Wednesday. So. But yeah, we are currently up to date with everything going on in terms of around the league. So let's close out of this. This page keeps crashing. My goodness, man. My goodness. The Buccaneers are doing a lot of work getting tight end Cade Otton back in the fold and adding Kenneth Gainwell, linebacker Alex Anzalone. Yeah. Yep. Why do I keep doing that? I keep accidentally opening up a new tab. Jeez. Get it together, Parker. Get your grip. Get your grip together. I guess I'll look at the tight ends because I was kind of in on a blocker. Obviously, I didn't think it was gonna happen after we re-signed Adam Troutman, right? David Njoku, he was kind of floated to Denver. Don't know if that happens now, but let's see. Where are some good? I mean, it was really for me. It was Daniel Bellinger and Cade Otton. Those were the two who I was in on in terms of being blockers. Charlie Kolar, that's another one. Charlie Kolar, another Baltimore tight end, right? We just saw Isaiah Likely. We just saw him leave. He's headed. Where is he headed again? Where's he headed? Let's see here. I guess I can go over to this page. Isaiah Likely is headed to, if I can find him. He is headed to the Giants. So another linebacker in Charlie Kolar. I did like him as a blocker. He's kind of the guy, if we do go after a blocking tight end, I kind of want Charlie Kolar, but I doubt it happens. I can also see someone like Joe Mixon if he's available to play. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be overly thrilled with those signings, obviously, but I mean, as long as you're addressing the position and looking to make a splash for the future, for sure. It would just be depending on obviously the price range of the other running backs, and then yeah, if you're not going to be in the mix for any of them, or if the market's crazy, wouldn't mind it, but wouldn't be thrilled obviously with those two coming off of injury years seasons. Again, I guess you could say that about J.K. Dobbins as well. So. Lions are signing free agent center Cade Mays to a 3-year deal. I'm surprised. We've seen two center signings from my memory, right? Tyler Biotish a few days ago, and now Cade Mays. I'm surprised. What's his name? Tyler Linderbaum hasn't been signed yet. The best center, probably negotiating a lucrative deal, would be my guess. Right. He's projected to get $17, $18 million in free agency. And right now, it seems like there's a lot of overpays going on in the market. So it might be getting even more than that. Jake Bailey is signing a 3-year, $9 million deal with the Falcons. Another punter. Another punter. What is this? The punter market or something? Yeah, Cade Mays, the most recent signing. Let's see if there's any. I want to see if there's any new reports out there that I'm not getting on this list for anybody that I maybe don't have on my NFL news list. Maybe they're reporting something. It'd most likely be a Broncos insider reporting some news if we're in or out on someone. Nothing yet. I saw a rumor, but it's not from a credible source, so I'm not gonna I'm not gonna report that because obviously the credibility isn't there and might not happen. So, but yeah, so far I'm not seeing anything new. So apparently from a Broncos reporter. So take it with a grain of salt, right? Because obviously they're reporting stuff that they hear, but do they have a direct line to whoever's reporting the information? We'll have to see. But the Broncos liked Kenneth Walker, but they were going to be wary of the price. But they also really like Travis Etienne, who's out there. So keep an eye on that. Of course, you don't know who's going to sign them, what the price is going to be for these guys, so things could change. J.K. Dobbins also reportedly remains in the race to return to the Broncos. And then, like I previously mentioned, the Broncos aren't in the running for free agent running back Tyler Algier. And then the Broncos have also apparently expressed interest in wide receiver Kendrick Bourne. We'll see if that goes anywhere. And so far, we are still up to date. All right. A little bit of a lull here. The Falcons are signing Nick Folk to a 2-year deal. Dude, why does this image of Nick Folk wearing this helmet specifically, dude, it looks AI generated. I'm not even kidding you. I don't know why, but this helmet just doesn't look real. Yeah, just a solid 45 minutes. Just a solid 45 minutes. Just a quick wait. Yeah. And just for everyone who is in here, if the Broncos don't make a move while I'm live, we'll continue to play it by ear of how long I go. I try and do a video, or I'm gonna try and do a video, maybe not every night, but after the first day of free agency, I'll do one depending on what happens. Right, I will make some videos on it, but yeah, I'll try and keep you guys updated as much as possible. A few years ago, I did videos every single day recapping every single signing. I can't remember when this was. This was back a few years ago, but I would do every day, even if it was just a single signing. But if there's one signing a day and then maybe like three the next day, then I might combine two of them together. But we'll just have to kind of play it by ear and see how the offseason goes, right? So. All right. An update on all the free agents that have signed so far, might as well. Jalen Phillips is signing a deal with the Panthers. Alex Pierce is re-signing with the Colts. Malik Willis is going to the Dolphins. Jalen Watson is going to the Rams. Kenneth Walker is going to the Chiefs. Isaiah Likely is going to the Giants. Kobe Bryant's going to the Bears. Draymond Jones is going to the Patriots. Joseph Ossai is going to the Jets. Eric Stokes is re-signing with the Raiders. John Simpson is going to the Ravens. Tyler Biadasz is going to the Chargers. Cade Mays is going to the Lions. Demario Davis is going to the Jets. Alex Anzalone is going to the Buccaneers. Amik Robertson is going to the Commanders. Kenneth Gainwell is going to the Buccaneers. Ryan Wright is going to the Saints. Jordan Stout is going to the Giants. Neville Gallimore is going to the Bears. Reggie Gilliam is going to the Patriots. Kingsley Enagbare is going to the Jets. Jake Bailey is going to the Falcons. James Pierre is going to the Vikings. Alec Ingold is going to the Chargers. John Ridgway is going to the Saints. Austin Hooper is going to the Falcons. Robert Rochelle is re-signing with the Panthers. Dennis Gardeck is re-signing with the Jaguars. Olamide Zacchaeus is going to the Falcons. Caleb Evans is re-signing with the Panthers. Mitchell Trubisky is going to the Titans. Daniel Bellinger is going to the Titans. And Cade Otton is re-signing with the Buccaneers. Just a few signings. Yeah, we saw Joseph Ossai. The deal's a 3-year, $36 million contract. Falcons are signing Nick Folk. He's going for year 20. And then, of course, the Titans are signing Daniel Bellinger to I thought it was a 1-year deal when I first saw it. Maybe I was just saying things, but it's going to be a 3-year, $24 million deal, which, let's see this. Daniel Bellinger is getting $24 million a year. I think was that a little higher than Troutman, I think? Let's see. I believe it was 24 over 3 is $8 million. So yeah, that's $8 million a year for Daniel Bellinger, and 6-1 for, was it Troutman? Which, I mean, let's be honest, Bellinger is the better blocker, right? So I still think the Troutman contract is high for him, but it's looking like an expensive tight end market. I never think Kenneth, or I think it's going to be, I never think Kenneth Gainwell would have been the second running back off the board. I know. It's crazy, isn't it? Right? Kenneth Walker, it made sense, but who would have thought the other Kenneth would have been the second running back off the board, not Travis Etienne, right? He was very touted this offseason, it seems like. So it's kind of crazy that he was the second running back signed, but honestly, good for him. Good for him. Come on, someone make a splash, man. Someone make a splash. Teams have offered Mike Evans north of $27 million per year. He's not sure if the Bucs are going to be willing to match that. And then Albert Breer is saying that one team offered $27 million for Mike Evans, a 1-year, $27 million deal. But we'll see if that was true or not. Alrighty, in about 15 minutes, we will officially be 2 hours into free agency, and we'll play it by ear depending on how fast the news is coming in. That's when we'll decide how much longer we will stay live. I'm hoping that we get some Broncos rumblings, some Broncos rumors, but yeah, we'll see. Doesn't even need to be a signing, just maybe someone they're interested in. I guess technically we did get that a little bit with Kendrick Bourne, but it's been reported by only Broncos reporters, so I want to see something more from the national area. All right. I am not seeing anything else on any other platform right now. And obviously, this is just for the Broncos for the most part, but. Oh, except I just got the former Ravens free agent center Tyler Linderbaum. Oh man, that's actually a really good move for the Raiders. Tyler Linderbaum is going to the Raiders, dude. Let's see the newer post. Okay, the original post from Schefter was Ravens free agent center Tyler Linderbaum reached agreement today on a record deal with the Raiders, who are awarding him with a 3-year, $81 million deal that includes $60 million guaranteed. Yeah, one of the best centers, not only in the league, right, but in just he was the best center of this free agent class, one of the best centers in the league, going to the Raiders. Don't love that. I kind of like and I hate to say this about a division rival, but I kind of like what their offensive line is looking like a little bit, right? You're going to have Linderbaum at center, and then you got second-round pick Jackson Powers-Johnson, who I still like. You got Colton Miller at tackle, right? Just need they're starting to build a solid offensive line there. Don't love that, right? Tyler Linderbaum going to be the anchor of that offensive line. So I hate that move, but it's a good move for them. It's a good move for them. And the Arizona Cardinals have agreed on a 2-year, $12.25 million deal with Tyler Algier. So we can take Tyler Algier off of here. I'm not gonna move everything up. We're just gonna delete it. So right now, my 3 best options that I would want would be Travis Etienne, kind of my number 1. Rico Dowdle, J.K. Dobbins, maybe even package Rico and J.K. together, and then maybe look for another running back in the draft. Receiver, Mike Evans. That's a lot of cap space, though. Don't think we're going to be in it if he really is seeking a $27 million a year offer. So Romeo Dobbs, I like as a complimentary piece. Same thing with Rashid Shaheed using his speed. Juwan Jennings, if it's like a 1-2 year deal. Then I'm kind of in on the linebackers right now. Jalen Phillips deal is thought to be the largest one for an unrestricted free agent for a non-quarterback. That's crazy. That's crazy. And Tyler Linderbaum is getting $27 million a year as a center. I mean, good for him. He's getting paid. He is getting paid. So the Broncos freed up $11 million in cap space by restructuring Quinn Miners. Okay, I just saw that number, $11 million. I didn't see it before now. I know they were restructuring it, but I just saw it was $11 million. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be mad at it. I mean, this is just my personal list of guys who I want, but I wouldn't be mad at. Definitely wouldn't be mad at that, right? Brian Robinson. Wouldn't be mad at him at all, right? The former Washington Commander. I think for me though, those guys are who I want initially, and then if we go elsewhere, if those guys aren't the answer, then for sure I wouldn't be mad at Brian Robinson at all. The Ravens wanted to keep Tyler Linderbaum. The Commanders and Browns also inquired, but obviously, yeah, the price was was insane from the Raiders. So, I mean, good for him. Obviously, wish he wasn't going to a division rival, but yeah, I mean, it's a good move for them. It's a good move for them. And honestly, if we didn't re-sign Luke Wattenberg in the offseason, I would have wanted Tyler Linderbaum as well. But of course, with the Wattenberg extension, that was not going to happen unless you were going to kick Wattenberg out to guard and trade Ben Powers and do all sorts of other stuff. But then that creates kind of a dead cap scenario. So it was unrealistic. But yeah, he's a good player. He's a good player. Unfortunately, look at this. Look at this. A $9 million difference between the highest paid and the second highest paid center. That's actually insane. And both of them are in our division, by the way. All right. Let's see here. Anything else? So Ravens traded Max Crosby. Okay, I mean, I guess you can say it's a trade, but I mean, obviously, yeah. Max Crosby goes to the Ravens for 2 first round. What was it? For 2 first round picks, yeah. And then Tyler Linderbaum then goes to the Raiders because they were able to free up some cap space. Yeah, also no income tax in Vegas. Yeah, that's Tyler Linderbaum's going to be bringing in some crazy Crazy money. Good for him, though. He's a fantastic center, and he deserves it. All right. Why do I why am I accidentally creating a new tab, man? Uh oh well. Just habit. Just habit. But yeah, Tyler Allgeier going back to the Cardinals, and I think I saw it's either late last night or early this morning that the Cardinals are also bringing back James Conner. So nice little 1-2 punch of Algier and James Conner. The Raiders are preparing to run the ball with that record quarterback. I mean, yeah, they're bringing in Fernando Mendoza, and well, I think they want to build the offensive line to run the ball better with Genty because Genty didn't have the rookie season everyone expected him to. But also, you're going to be protecting most likely Fernando Mendoza, who's going to be the first overall pick, opening up a running game to help him out. And then, yeah, you just got to get him some weapons outside of Brock Bowers, right? Because, yeah, let's see. The Raiders, obviously, you have Brock Bowers, fantastic weapon at the tight end position. But for receivers, you got Trey Tucker, Jack Besh, and Dante Thornton. I think they like Dante Thornton. Jack Besh is obviously going into year 2, but you're wanting to probably get another receiver. So maybe you go with like a Jeremy Bernard in the second round or something. So I do hate it. I do hate it. According to a source who I don't know their verification, so I'm not gonna say their name because again I don't want to put it out there if it's or put this person out there if it's not true because insiders can miss and sometimes they get things wrong. Some things can change, but sounds like the Broncos are pushing hard for Travis Etienne. Of course, we will have to see how it goes down, what the price is going to be. Maybe we maybe we get outpriced or we don't have the cap space for it. We'll have to see, but yeah, we are about 2 hours in, and the only small crumb of a rumbling that we have is potentially Kendrick Bourne, which is which is underwhelming to say the least. I hate talk to the text. Raiders are prepping. Hey man, you're all good. You're all good. Yeah, no, I definitely think they want to run the ball with Fernando Mendoza. I think he's going to be fine passing it, but help him, giving a rookie quarterback, a guy who can just giving him a run game. That, yeah. You obviously want to do that. You want to take as much pressure off of a rookie quarterback as possible. And I would say that, that was who offered Mike Evans the big number for the 1 year. Very well could be, because let's look at the cap space for everyone. Raiders had, and this is before the Linderbaum contract takes in, right? They had 111 million in cap space, right? Let me take this exact number down. And assuming that it's all 27 million in year 1, right? 27 million per year, and it's not going to be backloaded, right? It's not going to be front loaded. Assuming it's just $27 million this year, they still have $84 million. So I guess technically, if you wanted to offer Mike Evans $27 million, you'd still have $57 million if you offered both of those players $27 million, which would still put you in 6th place in cap space, which is absolutely absurd. Still, we're back into another lull here. Michael Carter signed a renegotiated deal with the Eagles per league source. Carter was not cut. He remained under contract, and the Eagles restructured that deal to keep him. The Eagles acquired Carter in October for John Mechie in exchange for exchange of 2027 draft picks. And I think 2027 draft picks are going to be very valuable because former Jaguars running back Travis Etienne is signing with the New Orleans Saints. He will not be a Bronco. He is headed to New Orleans. So, another running back off the board, and more likely I'm wanting to go for a running back really early in the draft here, right? So Alvin Kamara, I guess, could officially. I don't know if he's going to be cut, but he could potentially be traded as well. So yeah, we'll have to see what happens with Alvin Kamara. Let me see here. But yeah, like I was saying, 2027's draft looks like it's going to be insanely deep. So they're going to be very, very valuable. Here's currently the Broncos. This is 2026. I definitely said 2027, right? Select team, Broncos, and then it goes to 2020. Oh, okay. Yeah. So we have all of our picks plus an additional 7th, which we got from the Devon Vele trade. And then we could also obviously pick up more as the season goes on. If we trade away anybody, we add someone. Wow. Okay. So yeah, we had big interest in Travis Etienne, but he does end up going to the Saints. Unfortunate. I guess they just offered him more because I think they're going to be kind of in a rebuilding state-ish for a little bit. But yeah, he's also going closer to home. That's what we read as well. So yeah, so he's staying closer to his house. He's going closer to where he grew up, right? Closer to his family, all of that stuff. The Titans are signing Wan'Dale Robinson. So, yeah, kind of a lull for the Broncos. Obviously, we'll have to see what ends up happening. All right. And then most likely with the second round pick, the Raiders. Most likely with the second pick in the first round, the Raiders best defensive player, and then in the Yeah, I mean, I think the first, obviously, they're going Fernando Mendoza, and then in the second round, there's going to be a lot of receivers in the second round, right? Um, Here, I'll just bring this up. It's not the end all be all, right? Everyone has different positional rankings. I have different rankings than PFF, but if we go here, right? If I were to guess, I'm going to say Cardinal Tate, Mekhi Lemon, Jordan Tyson, Omar Cooper, Denzel Boston, maybe Casey Concepcion, maybe Chris Bell, depending on how teams see the ACL injury, but could see them easily going. Jeremy Bernard is someone who I really like. Elijah Surratt, Chris Brazel, Skylar Bell. These are all really nice guys. I don't know about Zachariah Branch. He's a fast guy, going to be used for a lot of screens for the most part. But yeah, there's some good receivers in this draft. I could easily see them going Jeremy Bernard, who I really like Jeremy Bernard from Alabama. So I could easily see them going with him in the second round. Of course, if they don't trade up for somebody, right? They could easily trade up back into the first round. Dang, Wan'Dale Robinson is going for a 4-year, $78 million deal. That's crazy. The Chiefs and defensive tackle Chris Tonga are re-signing him on a 3-year deal. I can see a trade up for Love. I know. Yeah, I mean it's well. I'm assuming you're talking about the Raiders. I don't know if they trade up for Jeremiah Love, right? If that's who are you talking about? Because the Raiders, I don't think they trade up for Jordan Love because I think he's going top 5, right? I think the Raiders are going Fernando Mendoza at 1, and then I think honestly Jeremiah Love could end up at 3. Well, I was gonna say 3 to the Cardinals, but they signed a couple running backs. I think he could end up going top 5, so it'd have to be a big trade up, and I don't think if again I'm assuming I don't know who you're talking about, but I just don't think there's any trade up for him unless you're inside the top 10. So again, I love Jeremiah Love, but I think a trade up would be very unlikely. Um, I don't hate a trade up for him, right? You say it's like obviously you typically don't trade up for running backs, but I like Jeremiah Love. I don't think he would be a bad option. But yeah, J.K. Dobbins is going to be and a second round pick like Mike Washington Jr. out of Arkansas makes me very nervous. He has a big fumbling problem. I personally would either go Jadarian Price from Notre Dame, the other Notre Dame running back, or Jonah Coleman. Both of those guys are 3-down backs from who I like personally, and they can also pass protect. So either of those two, I'd like. I am not personally super high on Mike Washington. The fumbles really, really scare me. I know he's super athletic. I know he had a great combine, but yeah, he kind of scares me. He would be someone who I'm personally not as high on. But if you are, hey, that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. I'm just not personally high on him myself. The Falcons are signing receiver Jahan Dotson. Travis Etienne gets a 4-year, $52 million deal, which breaks down to about $13 million a year. All right. Um, I'll just do a couple refreshes here, but wow. Adam Schefter just said that Alvin Kamara could be retiring. So everyone who thinks he might be going to a new team, wow, maybe not. All right. I am going to go ahead and end the live stream here because my voice is getting really tired from talking for a couple straight hours, right? It's good practice to get back into this mode for when the draft occurs at the end of April. Oh, dude, I would love for the Broncos to trade up. I'll address this one question. I would love for the Broncos to trade up for Jeremiah Love. I doubt it happens. I think it would have to be, if you wanted to trade up for Jeremiah Love, I think it would have to be obviously number 30. I think you would have to give up your second round pick. And honestly, I think you would have to give up your first round pick or in 2027, because you would have to jump all the way, I would assume, top 10-ish. I mean, don't get me wrong. Would love the move. Would love Jeremiah Love. But I don't know. 2027 is just going to be so valuable with the talent that's going to be in that draft. I don't know if you trade your first for 2027. But who knows? Maybe you could. I think he's going top 5, top 10. I think he's going to draw that attention, right? You saw where Bijan went. He went 7 a couple of years back. Jahmyr Gibbs went 12 in that same draft. Ashton Genty went, 5 this past year? And we've seen running backs go super high if they're special products. And so I think that's what happens with Jeremiah Love. But we'll see. Anyway, my voice is getting tired. I'm starting to lose it a little bit. Good practice for the NFL draft, right? We will, of course, be doing the NFL draft streams for all 3 days, right? Thursday for the first round, Friday for rounds 2 and 3, and then Saturdays for rounds 4 through 7. So yeah, good practice. And I know now that I'm going to end the stream, the Broncos are going to be signing someone probably. But yeah, got to get out of here. Got some stuff I need to finish up. I'll make some videos on what happens to the Broncos in free agency a little bit later in the day. I appreciate everyone who came in, stopped by, said hi, chatted with me for a little bit. Yeah, I hope you have a great day. I hope to see you in a video very, very soon. Thank you all for stopping in. Thank you so much. I will see you very, very soon. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.